in every woman's life when she realizes the people who were supposed to love her the most were quietly building the walls around her prison. For me, that moment came on a cold Tuesday afternoon standing in my childhood home while my parents signed over a $4 million estate to my younger sister. And I stood there in the corner holding a cup of tea that had already gone cold. I was 31 years old. I had a law degree. Worked since I was 16. Paid my own tuition. Sent money home every month. And never asked for anything back. Not because I did not need help, but because I believed my parents when they said hard work is the only inheritance worth having. I believed them. My sister Vanessa was different. She moved through life like the world owed her applause. Beautiful, charming, loved by everyone. And I loved her too. Even when she borrowed money she never returned. Even when she skipped my graduation because of a hair appointment. Even when she told my mother I was difficult any time I disagreed with something. I thought love was supposed to be unconditional. But that afternoon I learned love in some families always comes with conditions. The estate was not just land. It was memory. 3 acres of family history. A colonial house. A guest cottage. Gardens my grandmother spent 30 years building. My grandfather left it behind with one simple request. Keep it in the family. Keep it whole. But at that dining table my father announced they were transferring everything into Vanessa's name. He said she needed stability after her divorce. He said this would help her rebuild her life. He never looked at me once while saying it. Then my mother squeezed my hand softly and said, "You have always been the strong one, sweetheart. You will be fine." And in that moment I finally understood what being the strong one really meant. It meant being the easiest person to overlook. That day changed something inside me forever. I stopped waiting for fairness. Stopped expecting people to finally notice my sacrifices. Instead, I made a quiet promise to myself. I was going to build something so undeniable that one day the very thing they handed away would find its way back to me. Not through begging. Not through family arguments. Through work. Through patience. Through strategy. I threw myself into my career harder than ever before. At the time I was working at a mid-level real estate law firm. Good pay. Stable life. But nothing extraordinary. After that Tuesday I stopped coasting through life. I studied the market day and night. Took cases nobody else wanted. Worked before sunrise and long after everyone left the office. 18 months later I made partner. 3 years later I co-founded my own firm. Mercer Ellis and Hart. Seeing my name on that office door felt like breathing for the first time. Meanwhile Vanessa seemed to thrive. She renovated the estate. Hosted luxury parties. Spent money on decorators and landscapers. My parents loved every second of it. Relatives talked about her constantly. My mother even framed a photo of Vanessa standing in front of the estate and placed it above the fireplace. There was never a photo of me in that house. But people who inherit things they never earned usually do not know how to protect them. Vanessa borrowed against the property to fund a business that failed within a year. Then she borrowed again to cover the first loan. I found out through a colleague in property financing. That night I pulled every public record connected to the estate. Loans. Liens. Missed payments. The estate was collapsing financially. And strangely I did not feel happy. I felt sad. Sad for my grandfather. Sad for the rose gardens. Sad for the old wooden floors. Sad for the home that was supposed to stay whole. Then one evening Vanessa called me for the first time in almost 2 years. Her voice sounded smaller than I remembered. She said she need. By then my firm had already spent years buying distressed estate properties. So when the estate officially entered foreclosure proceedings, I did not hesitate. We submitted an offer. Clean. Fair. Completely legal. And the offer was accepted. The morning we finalized the purchase, I drove to the property alone. I parked near the front gate where I used to ride my bicycle as a little girl. I walked slowly through the garden. The roses were overgrown. The guest cottage needed repairs. The house felt tired and neglected. But the bones were still perfect. Just like my grandfather left them. I expected to feel victorious standing there. Instead, I felt something quieter. It felt like coming home. My parents called the same day they learned my firm had purchased the estate. My father sounded shaken. He said the family should have been consulted. He said he wished he knew I was interested. I listened quietly until he finished. Then I finally said the thing I had carried inside me for 3 years. I remember what it felt like standing at that dining table hoping someone would consult me too. I remember what it felt like being invisible to the people who were supposed to see me first. Silence filled the call. Vanessa never contacted me again. But I did not restore the estate out of revenge. I restored it because it deserved to survive. We renovated the gardens. Refinished the old wooden floors. Turned part of the property into a boutique heritage residence. And every morning when sunlight reaches the windows of the main house, I think about my grandfather's final request.